Hello everyone. Today will be a video instead of the stream because I'm out of the town for a while, and we will continue to explore NixOS and reproducible development environments. And today we will try to do setup of two hosts. One of them will be AWS instance and another will be my laptop, and my laptop will be using AWS instance as a proxy. We will do few things. We will configure Firefox. We will create a systemd service in user space, which will create SSH tunnel to AWS instance. And we need to create AWS instance first. Let's pick latest version, review and launch, security group, probably public. Okay, looks good to me. Pick SSH key and wait until it will be created. We need this IP address, but while it's creating, I will try to show you a few problems that I have currently with my Firefox. First of all, it asks me about default browser, and I want to stop it asking me. And another problem that I have internet. I can open different sites, but for example, LinkedIn is blocked by my internet provider, and I want to bypass this strange decision about blocking this site. And for that, I will do some configuration of AWS instance. But first, let's configure Firefox a little. Let's go out of Firefox and let's set settings for default Firefox profile, and I will explain how it works. But for now, we're just setting it, opening shell and using small shortcut which call NixOS rebuild switch with flake. Oh, one more time. Okay, which just call NixOS rebuild switch with flake equal to my system configuration. We switch to new configuration, and now Firefox don't ask me about default browser, and it's already good. And if you know, Firefox has a page called about config, and here you can see a lot of options. For example, options related to default browser check, which set to false. What else? We will need to configure our proxy, but I want to do it manually. Setting it in graphical user interface of Firefox. I will set it automatically using my system configuration, which will rewrite few options here in database. Probably I need proxy socks port and network proxy type. Yep. Let's set up those values. It will be network proxy host equal to local host, network proxy Oh, it will be socks, not host. And socks port equal to this, and proxy type equal to 1. How I get this value? Actually, I changed this value in graphical user interface and saw that this value in about config page changed to 1, and now I know what does it mean. That is why I wrote it here. Now let's switch to new configuration, and it will rebuild configuration for our Firefox. And now I can try to access some site, and it will say that proxy server is refusing connections because I don't have any proxy server right now in my system. But we can do it. Let's take a look at our AWS instance. It's already created and initialized, and our IP address listed here. And let's use it. I can't copy from my desktop to my laptop, but I can just type it. SSH root at 13.48.132.226. Good. Connected. Here we don't have anything configured yet. That is why let's try to write configuration for our AWS instance first. I already have AWS profile, which contains just one import for AWS instances and one option set. And I already have template in my Flake for AWS operating system. Let's build it. But before building, let's add some configuration. Oops. I can actually I have pretty neat Nix lookup hostname, networking hostname. Good. Networking host name equal to AWS proxy. And now let's go to my RDE directory and nix build AWS. Here a shorthand. Actually, I will be building this derivation, which built pretty fast. And now I have a result directory here. And if I read link, I will get the full path to my AWS system, and you can see that it's already added hostname here in the name. And now I need to switch remote machine to the to this operating system image. For that, I will be using Nix deploy tool. And if you take a look at options, not so much options, but oh, I have a make file where I have this command prepared, but I need to change IP address. Somebody remembers it? It was this one. Okay. Nix deploy system switch pass read link result 248 132 226 6. Good. And now it copies all the files and the whole operating system configuration to remote host, and after that it will switch to it. It can take a while, but next time when I update the system configuration, it will copy only files that doesn't exist remotely. But let's take a look at, I formatted buffer accidentally. Let's take a look at another options. I need packages, environment system packages. Good. In the next build, I will add environment system packages equal to nothing for now. I will need to do it a function which returns packages htop, for example. What does it say? Unexpected. I saw that Tweak.io had a blog post about flakes, and in this blog post I saw a nice example of how they define a system. Okay, they just used few parentheses. Now I don't understand what's wrong with it. Okay, I see. My bad. Now it works. Now it should work. Nix format buffer. Okay. Let's go back here and write SSH to our AWS instance, and now you can see that hostname changed. Hostname, but htop still not available. And here I modified configuration slightly, and now I can build it again. Nix build. Nix deploy. Actually, Nix deploy pretty simple utility which just copies a closure of your operating system. That means it will copy not only the package of your system but all other dependencies of the system to remote machine. And as you can see here, it's copied only packages that differs from what already been in the system. And now htop available on the remote system, and here we can see the all the processes and amount of RAM and other stuff. Good. We have a remote instance, but in most cases we want to provide SSH key for authorized keys file, and it can be done easily by authorized keys option. there are two options, this one and this one. For example, we can use this option. What we will do, copy this option, instead of name place root and equal to, it will be files id rsa. I already have a files directory in my repository, which contains keys directory and keys id rsa pub. Cool. Now my operating system, the image, will have authorized keys for root user changed. Let's deploy the system to the instance, and now we have updated authorized keys for root user. But the system already had those keys installed, that is why it won't make any difference. At least I hope so. Yeah, we still can log in. And if we take a look at SSH authorized keys, we can see this key here and ls. Actually, this file was created by Amazon itself, and those authorized keys live somewhere else, I think. Let's check it. Let's remove .ssh authorized keys. Very dangerous operation, actually. Let's change the password in case we break something. Probably I won't be able to log in anyway, because password login probably disabled, but okay, I remove. Oh, I can just try to log in. Yeah, we still can log in, even if you don't have authorized keys in this directory, because they live somewhere in system configuration, probably SSH authorized keys. Yeah, here you can see my new key added, and everything works fine. Good. Actually, it's enough for the configuration of remote host. Now let's create SSH tunnel, and it's also a pretty simple task. We just need to use -d option for creating this SSH tunnel, and after that, on my local host, I will be able to use this port as SOX proxy, and here you can see now it works. But if I shut down this connection, I say shut down. Oops, I broke everything, but the connection should be stopped right now. Yeah, now proxy refuse to connect. Good. Everything works, but this SSH tunnel isn't persistent. That is why we will create a systemd unit in user space. For that, we will be updating home.nix configuration, and here I will say that I want systemd.user.services.ssh tunnel equal to something. what we want from this unit. We want this unit to have exec start command, which will use packages open ssh/bin/ssh with d8123 and our host and user. Actually, we also can place this IP address somewhere in the variable, and we can use it for both deployment and for both and for creating this SSH tunnel unit with SSH tunnel. But I won't be doing it right now. I will just hardcode this value. And also we need to add a few more parameters to make SSH not expect anything else, like comments. For example, if I add n flag, it won't prompt me to input some other comments. And -t, another option that is required because it stops SSH from pseudo-terminal allocation. And yeah, we need to say that we want the service restart always and restart sec. It can take a while. Yep. And also we need our service to start automatically, but it will create the service but probably won't start. Let's check it. systemctl, it will be SSH tunnel status loaded but inactive. It's inactive because nobody requires this server to be started. That is why we need to use install wanted by, for example, default target. Actually, about this option, we can read a manual systemd.service, and here we can see all the options available for the configuration, and also exec extensive description of all the options that are available for the user. For example, exec start and other stuff. Yeah, pretty good description of all the systemd configuration options that available, and it just basically will be transformed to systemd unit configuration. And now we say that this service wanted by default target, and now let's check that our proxy still doesn't work. And now let's rebuild our configuration and switch to it. And now it works. Let's try to open LinkedIn. Yep. Cool. It also works. And let's check our IP address. Now we are in Sweden, and our IP address also changed. We can see that we use our AWS instance as exit point for our internet connection. Cool. We have created a service, systemd service, which starts SSH tunnel with this long command that we described right here. And it even works. Very cool. To sum up everything that we've done here, we created our configuration for AWS instance. We built operating system and deployed it to remote host via SSH using Nix deploy, which internally use Nix copy closure. We added SSH key to remote host. Actually, it was already added, but we added it in case we had a different key for connection. We created configuration. Actually, we edited already existing configuration for my laptop and added systemd service for SSH tunnel that will basically exec an SSH command for creating SSH tunnel, and we configured our Firefox to use this port. It will be cool. It will be cool if we can use to share this port into configuration. For that, let's create a little scope. Let SSH tunnel port will be equal to 888. What did I say? Let in okay, probably I can do it. I can do a let inside a hash map. Let's move this variable to outer let. SSH tunnel port will be equal to 888. And here we will be using toString SSH tunnel port, and here we will be using SSH tunnel port. Let's check that about config proxy uses this port. Let's save everything and switch to new configuration, and it should update both SSH port in our systemd unit and in our Firefox browser. Let's take a look. Yeah, you can see that the command updated with new port, and let's check that Firefox also updated. Firefox still works. That means that in our about config we will see the proper value for the proxy port. Yep, it also updated. Cool, it works as we expected. Thank you everyone for watching it. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye.